Yo, listen up. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon and The Blackest Heart and The Lonesome Crown, all published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today, I will be reviewing the fourth short novel in Stephen King's collection, 4 Past Midnight. And that fourth short novel is The Sundog. Yeah, I didn't really like this book that much. I gotta be honest. Overall, I kind of been disappointed in 4 Past Midnight. I remember reading it as a younger person, the Langoliers, Secret Window, Secret Garden. I thought those were a lot better when I was younger. I don't know why I've kind of rated them a little bit lower for this video series. And for those of you who haven't watched any of these videos before, I am reviewing every Stephen King novel in order of publication. There's 90 some odd novels. I'm going to get to them all. This is about number 32, 33, 4 Past Midnight. Full of 4 short novels, some of which I've mentioned, the last one being The Sundog, which, again, I said, I didn't really care for it. The weakest novel of the group. The weakest novel of a group of kind of average novels. Sundog, what's it about? What is The Sundog about? It's about a kid named Kevin. Kevin's given a camera for his birthday party. A 660 Polaroid camera, to be exact. You know the old Polaroids? I mean, this isn't the day before digital cameras. When now every kid has a camera, a spectacular camera on their phone. Not only do they have that on their phone, but they got access to every porn site in the world on their phone. I don't know how kids handle it this day. I mean, when I was a kid, we didn't have any of that. I mean, if we wanted porn, we had to, find it in our friend's dad's basement, crawl space. That's where porn was. Now, porn is just got the worst kind of porn. It's just, you on your phone. On your phone. Anyway, my rant over. This kid gets a Polaroid for his birthday. Polaroids are these old-timey cameras. You take a photo, you get the film developed. That's the way most cameras were back in the day. You take a photo, you take it to the 1-hour photo. Sometimes you'd have to take it to the overnight photo. If you were really, really old, you had to develop the film yourself, which took forever. Nobody did that. Then Polaroids came along, and they were just, you snap a photo, and the photo spits out the underside. The camera develops it itself and spits it out at you, kind of like a Xerox machine. But the photos were real shitty. I mean, they sucked. But anyway, that's what Kevin gets for his birthday, is a little Polaroid camera. And so he starts taking photos, but he notices that the photos that are being spit out, they don't match what he was aiming at. Like, he'd be aiming at something, and then it spits out a photo of a different scene altogether. And particularly, the scene is of a white picket fence with a black dog walking in front of it, the fence. So he takes another photo, spits it out, and the dog's walked a little further in front of the fence. And he gets to the point where the dog's walked across the fence, right? He gets another roll of film, he puts it in there, and he takes another photo, and the dog is still doing that. And then suddenly the dog is then the dog starts looking at the camera, which is creepy. Now it becomes even more creepy. And so he's like, oh my God, what do I do? Well, so he takes it to a junk shop to see if the guy can fix it. He's like, hey, my camera is broke. It don't take photos of what I'm pointing at. It takes photos. It's showing me some dog on a fence. So the guy's like, well, that's weird. Why don't you keep taking photos with it? And see, it's like really quirky. Why don't you see what happens? See what the dog does. So he starts taking more photos, and the dog starts doing weirder shit. Takes it back to the junk shop, takes it back to old Pop. Pop is the name of the guy that owns the junk shop. Says, Pop, still getting weird. And Pop is like, well, let me. Pop starts thinking. He's like, hey, this is some supernatural shit, right? I know some people that like to buy supernatural stuff for a lot of money. Maybe I can swipe this camera from a kid, replace it with a different camera, and the kid will be none the wiser. He'll have a camera that finally works for him. La-di-da-di-da. So that's what happens, and from there, all sorts of Stephen King type, scary, weird, creepy, nasty horror stuff starts happening. It's an okay premise for a book, to be honest with you. I just don't know why I wasn't into it. I just couldn't. I was forcing myself to read through this. And maybe it's because I've just now read since February. It's now July. So 6 months, I've read through 32 Stephen King novels. And maybe I'm just getting some Stephen King burnout here. I never would have thought it was possible. I was excited to do these Stephen King reviews because I'm going to be like, I'm going to be reading every Stephen King novel in order, all 90 of them, and it's going to be great. Oh, 4 Past Midnight, man, really bogged me down. It really bogged me down. I struggled through each story just to get through it. So I'm really excited now to get, I think it's The Wastelands, book number 3 of The Dark Tower that I'll be doing next. And then Needful Things, which is one of my favorite Stephen King books. So hopefully we can get back on track here, right? So The Sundog, I just gave you a basic rundown of the thing. I don't do plot spoilers. I just give you a basic rundown of the plot, whether I liked it or not. This one, whatever. It's one of those whatevers for me. The Sundog, let's give it 6.5 out of 10 stars, all right? Let's just put it in the average category. Now, as you know, every novel I write is dedicated to Stephen King, Motley Crue, and the Oakland Raiders, because those were the 3 most important things in my life when I was a kid growing up, so they get a shout out in every book I write. So anyway, if you want to read through 4 Past Midnight, keep in mind it is 4 short novels, one of which is The Sundog, none of which I thought was really super spectacular. But hey, it's a Stephen King thing, so you got to collect it, you got to read it, and you got to love it, because Stephen King is my man. And Sundog is one of the books that he wrote